Good just afternoon. Um, just wondering how this video is finding you in terms of just circumstance to your own life, as well as just what we're dealing with as a nation, as a state. As we just consider, just the further phases and opening more things up. Not sure if you, like me, are questioning. I just wonder how normal will get in terms of just how we ultimately settle in this whole situation. But I just continue to be reminded of God's sovereignty and the fact that we're not dependent on circumstances. We're not dependent on the conditions of our lives to ultimately be at peace, to be at joy, to find purpose. And to pursue the things that God would have us pursue, which is the best thing we could do anyways. And so as we just continue to, we'll actually really finish this psalm. I was going to say, go through the psalm, we'll be wrapping it up today. What a good place to be in terms of just being reminded of God's shepherd heart, his capacity and ability and power and strength and provision and presence to truly be the shepherd that we need him to be, to guide us and protect us and provide for us all the things that we would need as his sheep. But as we really wrap it up in verse 6, where it says, "Surely goodness and love will follow me all the days of my life, and I will dwell in the house of the Lord forever." That is the NIV. It's just interesting how different translations translate this last verse. And so I did a little digging in terms of just what different commentaries would say, and different word studies in terms of the Hebrew. I'm not as adept at dealing with Hebrew as I am with Greek. Even that isn't all that good, but able to negotiate through my study materials more with Greek than Hebrew. But just so you know that one commentator actually just maybe starting with each word, the first word, rather than surely, translated as only. I think this whole idea of, verse 6, surely goodness and love following us, really does flow from my cup overflowing, as David is confronted with the overabundance of God's provision, the greatness of him being the ultimate shepherd, and how rested and full and provided for and secured he feels as a sheep of the great shepherd. Just my cup overflows. It's like I've got so much, it goes beyond just what I need. It's what I want, or it's blessing. It's overabundance. And that's the nature of God's work in our lives. And I don't think we don't need to associate that with external things, with possession, with material things, even though I think it can result in that. But it's more just an abundance of heart, of spirit, of kindness, of mercy, of love, of just all the things that we don't have to worry about, the things that we don't have to concern ourselves with, the things we don't have to pursue. The fact that we can engage with people, not on the terms of our need, not on the terms of you've got to take care of something within me, or I've got to defend something, or I've got to manage something within myself, and that conditions how I interact with you, and all the game playing that can happen in human life and human relationships, to really be freed from that. Because of the fact that, again, God's our shepherd. He's the one that so my cup is overflowing, and so therefore only goodness and love will follow me all the days of my life is one translation. When you think about surely, what does surely really mean? Again, it's that confidence. It's that just settled surety that okay. What do I expect from life? Our expectations have a lot to do with what we're experiencing now. Like what I'm experiencing now is conditioned by a kind of, what am I expecting? What am I looking for? What am I pursuing in my life? And then what do I expect to happen? And so therefore to say that, it's with God as our shepherd, only surely, confidently, it's going to be this goodness and love that follow me. And what, again, that's a statement of who God is. But then you're probably aware of different translations that take this surely goodness and love and take that word love and translate it as mercy. And as I did a little digging on that probably mercy is probably closer to the intent of the Hebrew word than love is. Kindness would be another way to express it. It is a thought of kind of the stronger coming on, doing something on behalf, a kindness shown to those that are lower or weaker. And that is certainly the context here. It's the shepherd taking care of the sheep. And so therefore that goodness and that kindness. I mean, mercy is pretty close. When we talk about mercy, mercy is about not giving us what we do deserve. The fact that we deserve punishment, we deserve judgment, and God, is in His mercy doesn't give that to us. Naturally our ultimate resource for that is Christ, and the forgiveness that He brought through the cross. But to know that goodness and that mercy, that kindness will follow me all the days of my life. Another translator communicated in terms of just, the reference that David made above about his enemies. God preparing a table before me in the presence of my enemies. And when you think about what life would be if enemies were pursuing you, you think about the heartbeat, the context, the thought pattern that's consistent with, okay, my enemies are pursuing me, so therefore I have to feel like I'm defended, I'm protected, I'm on guard, I'm looking out and I'm watching, and so on and so forth. But it's just the opposite here, isn't it? That's not the enemies pursuing. What's pursuing me, what's coming after me is goodness and kindness, goodness and mercy. And so therefore, what does that mean? What does that result in terms of our mindset? Like, again, what are we expecting? What are we like? Are we waiting for the shoe to drop? Are we waiting for, okay, when's the next bad thing going to happen? Certainly life is full of tragedy. And I'm not saying that by any stretch that the hand of God in life means you will never have problems, you'll never get sick, you'll never be poor. That's not true. That's foolishness, to be honest with you. But to know that when we deal with the various circumstances and the varied circumstances of life, that with God as our shepherd, it's still this goodness and kindness. It's still, God is still protecting, God is still surrounding, God is still providing in the context of all these things. And to be honest with you, I just think there's more freedom to not need things to work out a certain way. The minute you think that, well, the only way for this to work, the only way for me to believe God, the only way for me to really have peace in my life, if there's a guarantee that good things are going to happen. Well, what are you forgetting weather? Are you forgetting fire? Are you forgetting human error? Are you forgetting human weakness? You're gonna, get in a car accident. You're gonna die someday. You're gonna, things are gonna get destroyed. Things are finite. We're in a broken world. We're in broken bodies. So that can't be your confidence. Your confidence is in the fact that God is your shepherd. So He's going to take care of it. Now, it's going to be in His time. It's going to be in His way. So we persevere in those modes and so on and so forth. But I got to stop talking about this because I gotta wrap this sixth verse up. And if I go too much with this, then I won't. But so therefore, surely goodness and mercy, kindness will follow me all the days of my life. Maybe I didn't look at what stage of life David wrote this, but as he perused his life and thought of where he had been, where he's going, again, all he's internalizing and embracing in this time is that goodness and that mercy that has flowed from God, and then what does that lead to? What that leads to, again, when you recognize how good God is, how just overabundant His blessing and His provision is for our life, then I want to dwell in the house of the Lord forever. I want to dwell here. I want to abide. I want to make sure I'm close to this shepherd. I'm going to do the things that get me closer to Him. And pursue Him, as surely in goodness pursue my life or follow me in my life. Well, I'm going to pursue God, the one who has provided that. And so it is neat to think in terms of David's understanding of things, the Israelite understanding of things, that dwelling in the house of the Lord, that would be the temple, or for David, actually, as I think about this, the house of the Lord for him would probably be the tabernacle. It would be the house, it would be the Holy of Holies. And I mean, not that David could access the Holy of Holies, but just being in the presence of God. That tabernacle, eventually the temple, represented God's presence with the people. And I want to be as near to that as possible. I want to be in the house of the Lord. I want to be in the place that, where God is located. Again, I want to be close to this shepherd. As this shepherd is doing all the things that he can do for me, let me get close as I can. And just the glory of what we have as believers in Jesus Christ, and to recognize that there is no place in the earth right now that is the house of the Lord except us. Don't come to church and come to the house of the Lord. No, can't claim that about. I wish I could. I wish I could say, hey, the only place you can find God is come to Living Hope Christian Church, or any church. I wouldn't be so specific about Living Hope, but no, I can't hold that over your head. That can't be the arm twister. Something. If you don't come to church, then nope. The house of the Lord. You are the house. As if you're a believer in Jesus Christ, you are the house of the Lord. And so therefore, there's really no excuse, is there? In other words, if we are the house of the Lord, if we are the temple that Jesus resides in, if the Holy Spirit has made us that temple for Jesus to reside in, then therefore there's no excuse not to be close to him. There's no excuse not to draw near and to respond in the way that is fitting for how God has taken care of us. To say, yes, I want to engage with you. Yes, I want to give you my life. Yes, I want your Spirit to work through me. Yes, I make myself an open vessel, a living sacrifice in terms of what I become because of the good things that God is and has provided for me. So, a little sad to leave Psalm 23, but I think we're pretty done, but hopefully this has been a great encouragement as we're reminded of just how good God is. I completely forgot to tell you, my ADD brain just kicked to another gear. Just in terms of Sunday, very exciting to think of being here, not the house of the Lord, but it is the church, it is the body. The body of Christ assembles here, not that it doesn't assemble all place. Anyways, we are just doing one service. That's the main thing I wanted to communicate to you, that the numbers that we're looking at are hovering around that 55, 60. And so therefore, we'll just be doing one service. If we did have a little bit over, that 60 number is in the sanctuary itself. So we could accommodate a few more people in other areas of the building. So therefore, let us know if you're going to be here. It's still important to kind of have an awareness. We have assembled the chairs in a way that it maximizes the space, which just does mean that if you're coming as a group of 4 or a group of 2, you're going to find chairs set up like that. Like, in other words, there's two chairs and then 6 feet, then 2 chairs and 6 feet. Because what we found is the majority of people that are coming are groups of 2, like there's couples coming. And so if you're an individual or you are a family of 4 or 3, you'll be in one part of the room, and then the 2s you'll see kind of spread out through the sanctuary in socially distant, safe ways. And so I'll look forward to it. Certainly we'll continue to do the live stream. So whatever you do what is best for you in terms of your state, your status, in terms of your health and how you're feeling on that particular day. And just, it would be good to see the people that are able to come here. And maybe one thing I would mention, I know I'm going way over time, but yeah. Just another idea that I did have is, if you did want to come to church and watch the live stream in the parking lot, and then after service, fellowship with people outside in socially distant, safe ways, I would welcome you to do that. Again, I don't think there's anything that would lead against that. And so that would be a way for you to maybe even with your family. Be a little bit more at church by sharing the service. I am looking into maybe ways we could put a speaker outside and project the audio of the sermon outside. And so just looking for various ways to allow the maximum amount of people to be here on a Sunday morning. So certainly if you have ideas or things that would make it work for you, certainly don't hesitate to contact us. Other than that, we certainly hope that God blesses you in your day. Bye-bye.